Well, you know, whenever you walk in the front door of the Brookline Booksmith, there's this very attractive woman who may very well approach you and say, "Hi, Betty. Hi, Chobi. Hi, Paul. I've got a book that you're going to love." And it'll be a book that speaks directly to a choice you might have made. She is so knowledgeable. She is so approachable. She's also gorgeous. Her husband, who lives in Maine and is originally from Iran, actually, and their two kids live in Maine. So she goes home a couple of nights a week to be with them. And then she comes back and lives in a house with friends in Coolidge Corner. Lisa is just an incredible woman. Aside from her knowledge of books and her willingness to know a lot of her customers very well so that she can recommend books to them that are right up their alley. I mean, she's really phenomenal. I know you know how much I respect you, Lisa. You're really something else. So we are really privileged to have her here today. And she could really talk on a number of subjects, but she's probably going to talk to us a lot about what she and her colleagues are doing to reorganize the store and keep it going in these really difficult times. I mean, they're doing it with creativity and intelligence and all kinds of good stuff. And please, please never buy a book online. That's so unpatriotic. Buy a book from the Booksmith, and if they don't have it on their shelves, they'll order it for you and they'll get it for you. Lisa, I love you, and take it away.
Thank you, Chobi. I love you too. You know that. And I admire you endlessly. As I always tell Chobi, she's the woman that I want to be at 85.
80. No, 80.
Is it 80? I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
She got muted by mistake.
88 in August.
Oh, see, you see? And you make it look so good and so easy.
Did you see me roller skating yesterday by the store?
No.
Well, I wasn't.
Oh, God. I would believe that. I would actually believe that. So you scared me. Yes, so I mean, I'm certainly happy to give you all an overview of how we've been managing, and of course, more than happy to answer any specific questions that you might have, and welcome all suggestions now and always from your, that come out of your own experience of the store or the community, because we really depend on you to be the store that we are. I always say that the reason we are the great store that I deeply believe we are is because we serve this remarkable population and have had the privilege of serving this population for almost 60 years. We mirror our audience and are informed by them and enriched by them daily. So thank you for all of that. I would say, I mean, it's definitely an epic struggle for us. It's certainly harder than what we're enduring is harder than anything we've ever endured since our founding. And what makes it sort of especially challenging is that, as you probably all know, we had Marshall Smith, our founder, Evelyn Vigo, our controller, and Dana Brigham for up to, close to 40 years as our triumvirate, guiding us with tremendous wisdom, discipline, and care. And all three of those individuals are retired now, and so it leaves navigating these difficult waters to myself and Peter and Jed's son, who is, Marshall's son, who lives in California, who's a visionary, amazing person, but isn't on the ground and isn't a bookseller. So we're having to, just imagine being given a ship and in the stormiest, most difficult waters with you know, 3 or 4 years of running things under your belt, you know, it's hard. And I think that Peter and I have been in over our heads and sort of second guessing ourselves, and you don't have a minute to think about it. You just have to go forward. You know, you don't have answers, you don't have solutions, you have nothing but questions, and you have to move into the next moment, which is sort of what every day has looked like since March for Peter and I. And so it's challenging. There is a lot of joy at the same time, because our customers have been phenomenal. People have been buying online like crazy. They've been doing curbside pickup. They've been so supportive. They've become members. We launched a membership program. They're just around every corner saying thank you, asking if there's anything that they can do to help, and really, really striving to support us. So I feel confident that with that tremendous alliance, we will overcome this. But I do think it's going to be a few years. I think from everything I'm gleaning, it's, you know, 2 years out, or even 3 years till there's any kind of real normalcy returning. So it's just, I think we're in it for the long haul. And that's why I say we really welcome your suggestions and your perspective and awareness as we do the jobs that we are struggling to understand how to do well. We would love to hear from you. So any specific questions, or shall I just ramble on?
I think you're doing fine. And I'm interested more about your pickup routine. So tell us more about buying things from you and doing curbside pickup.
Okay, the curbside pickup has been going fantastically well, and that is a safe and convenient option for anybody who wants to support the store and have great reads for the summer. Basically, you can either call us during our store hours, which is 10 to 4 Tuesday through Thursday, and 10 to 6 Friday and Saturday, and ask us for the books that you're interested in, and we'll take your payment over the phone and bring them over to the former Verizon space, which is now our curbside location. And all you have to do is go to that door and say your last name, and we'll hand the package right out to you. So it's like I said, safe and convenient. And tons of people have been doing that, which is another joyful thing. Because if you look in the window of the that Verizon space, you will see it looks like a fulfillment center. Which, you know, I never in my wildest dreams would imagine that people would do it, and do it that steadfastly and that intensively, and they are. So we appreciate that, and it's a great choice. And if we don't have the books, like Chobi said, if we don't have the books to complete your order, then we certainly will order them, and then you can pick up your order however you like, partially when it's ready, or wait till the whole order is complete and then come by and pick it up. And then of course you can place your orders online if you don't want to call and you just want to order online. We're in the process of redesigning our website. We have these incredible designers working with us. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll see that new design, which is like state of the art, better than any other bookstore that I've seen in the United States. And that's thanks to Jed, Marshall's son, who's guiding us in these innovative ways. So there'll be a lot more beautiful options. You'll see our top 50 books of the month, and lots of fantastic recommendations by category. There'll be gifts available online. You can buy journals and pencils and art supplies and your favorite mug, etc., in a much easier, much more intuitive way, and have all of that available for curbside pickup, or have it shipped right to your home or to your loved ones wherever they happen to be in the United States. So that
I put your website up on the screen for everybody to see, and I see you're doing your events.
Yes, thank you for doing that. Yes, we're doing all our events virtually, and we've had lots and lots of really amazing events. That's another thing that we pivoted toward right away at the end of March. So our regular event series and then the transnational literature series, which is also fantastic, are both doing great events. And the virtue of the online events is that we can actually, for the transnational series, for example, bring in people from around the world. So we have had conversations with folks, 2 or 3 people in different parts of the globe. And that is, as you can imagine, an incredibly rare gift to be able to be in conversation that way. So I recommend exploring that. Like this book, Inheritors, that event is going to be absolutely amazing. Toby, you should definitely go to that. That would be perfect for you if she's still out there and can hear me. Anyway, that's a fantastic thing to avail yourself of. And those events are all basically free and open to the public, with the exception of the higher profile ones, like the new Daniel Silva, the Silva book, for example. You have to buy the book to get into that event.
This is Arnie Miller. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi. Well, the question I'd like to ask is, when I want to go to the Booksmith, I find that it's difficult to park. What is? I once heard that they were going to build a multi-story parking garage in Coolidge Corner. So there'll be. It seems that the way the parking situation is in Coolidge Corner is not business friendly.
Yeah,
Comment
that is
on that?
true. Yeah, that is true. We've long struggled with that, and I think that parking garage is still a plan. But of course, with COVID and all the implications, I don't know exactly how that construction is even going to roll out. I feel like, I don't know if those of you who've been parking, I feel like it has opened up a bit because there's just so many less people out and about that it certainly is easier now.
Absolutely.
And
well, you deliver curbside too. I mean, so that's
right. So if you had something that you wanted to pick up in your car, you could certainly call us and let us know that you're there, and we can run it right out to the car.
Well, see, one of the advantages I liked about your store is that sometimes you don't know, you're not going in for a particular book.
Of
You
course.
just want to browse and enjoy the atmosphere. And I miss that.
Yeah, well, you should come back because we're here, and we opened the store a lot so that it's much more comfortable, and we're following all the safety protocols. We're only letting 30 people in at a time. So it actually feels really lovely browsing in the store right now. So
And I'd like to end by saying my interest is in science and mathematics books. And you have a limited selection to browse through.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because of it's not that popular because the space is limited?
No, actually, science and math books are quite popular in Brookline. I think you might need it. The actual section, the section itself is smaller, as you're indicating, but many of those books are in the new hardcover area. They just fall into the nonfiction category. So when we have our new science and math books, we put them right up front. So all you would need to do is come in and tell me that you're interested in the new science and math books, and I will show you exactly where they are in the nonfiction area up front. This should also be second section, but I'd be happy to help you because that's actually our nonfiction. Science is one of our very best-selling categories historically in the store. So when we have many, many scientists living in this neighborhood, as you probably know, and we lean into their interest for sure.
I wish you the best.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you in the store.
And I think Susan has a question.
Well, actually, I had a couple, always. First of all, Lisa, I love the Booksmith. If I spend money in Brookline, most of it is going to you. I just adore that store and have for years. I was glad to hear about the website because I also will come in and browse before I find a book that I like. So I love this idea, and I will absolutely check out the new website when you get it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll actually, now that I have your email, I can send you a note when it's ready, and then you can be one of our early testers, because we'll need that.
Okay, a couple of other things. I was going to ask you for some recommendations, but I just drove to Pittsburgh, as I mentioned, and I discovered there's an alternative to Audible books that will give you guys credit. And I wonder if you might talk about that for a little bit, because I think many of us might enjoy having an alternative to Audible that would benefit the Booksmith.
Yes, now that's Libro that you're thinking of, right? Yes. So Libro that's available on our website now. There's a whole Libro category for audiobooks, and it's a fantastic organization and web offering, and we do get a portion of the proceeds from that, and they have a phenomenal range. So we highly encourage people to explore that. And when our new website is live, it'll be much more visible and easier to see from the homepage. Yeah, that's a fantastic question. Thank you.
Hi. We are being extremely careful, and we're not going to go in your store, and that's just a total bummer for a while. But like Arnie, I always browse when I go in. Sometimes I go in for things that are not books, like calendars, cards, stuff like that. And so I'm wondering if you have other items and most of your inventory online, so I can browse that way and then do the pickup.
Yeah, well, that is what we're working toward. So when we launch the new site,
Okay.
That will be possible. And then the other thing is that you can always send me an email too, and you could say, for example, I'm looking for cards like X, this type of sentiment, this type of quality, and we can figure that out, so that we are giving specialized customer service over the phone for people that have specific requests that will even be hard to do even with a new website. For example, it will be very hard to have greeting cards, but if that's something that but it's something we do want to offer. So and we absolutely want to honor the individuals who are protecting themselves and remaining safe. That's incredibly important for us to support. So anything that we can do to help you do both, be safe and still enjoy being able to participate in the work of the store and have the things you need, we would love to do.
Thank you. Do you have any comments about a couple of the new hot things, like by people who have worked with or for certain politicians? Like John Bolton, like Donald Trump's daughter,
Donald Trump's niece.
That's right, the niece. Yeah.
Niece, yeah. Niece,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Those books are pretty popular. Although there was an initial sort of splash for the Bolton book, but I feel like our audience, our customers, are much deeper than these like superficial attempts at expose, or our base wants deep philosophical inquiry. They want powerful, enriching engagement. And so there's a little push toward that, but our base is so smart that the superficial thing passes very quickly through Coolidge Corner. That's what I always find. So it's, our guys want the real thing.
Thank you. I won't bother to get or even read them.
Yeah, I support that. I shouldn't, but I do. I support using your mind in better ways.
Absolutely. And the Libro
love Lisa.
Is Libro something like a alternative for Kindle? Because when we go to our camp in Maine, it's a hell of a lot easier to take 8 or 10 books on a Kindle than it is a giant beanbag full of books.
Oh,
Yeah, it's okay, Chobe.
No,
Nickname.
actually,
Un-American.
I found the page on your website that talks about this, Lisa, so I have it up.
Thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's audio. Yeah, so it's not Kindle, but it is audio. So you have to listen to it. It's a digital audio book.
Can
Yeah.
you read it on or listen on a Kindle?
Oh,
No, I don't think so. No, no. And I understand
have
that.
microphone, George. Kindles don't have microphones.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's okay.
I
And you
wanted
can
to
still be
ask-
part of, you can still be part of the Rotary. What do you think, Chobe?
I gotta think this through.
Lisa,
so it looks like if you go to brooklinebooksmith.com/audiobooks, it'll give you the whole scoop about it. And this is the first I've heard about it too, so I don't know any more details. But you can do it either on an Android or an Apple phone.
But
And
audio is different from an ebook.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and these things often expire, so I don't know if they expire or not. But it looks like there's a good lineup of books that you can choose from.
Yeah, there's actually a great lineup of books. Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Audio books are great on an iPad. An iPad is just as good as a Kindle and easy to transport. I have a mini iPad. I read books on it all the time. I listen to books. So you don't need a Kindle, and you could still support Booksmith.
And I do a lot of reading on my phone, which sounds like painful. In the beginning it was, but now the definition is so much better on the phones that reading on a telephone is actually pretty realistic, and it's convenient.
I like to underline and things like that. So I like to have that book in my hand. I just want to recommend a book that I'm reading that's really, really interesting. And of course, I got it at the Booksmith. And I'm going to go get several more to give to friends. For example, I think Michael Dukakis would love this book. It's called Journey to Earthland. And it's by Paul Raskin, R-A-S-K-I-N. It's a small book, but it's mighty. And whether you agree with it or disagree with it, it's really worth reading, and they have it at the Booksmith.
Journey
What's the
to,
premise?
Earthland.
Say it again.
I
What'd you
was asking you to repeat the name, Chobe.
Oh, Journey to Earthland. And it's by Paul Raskin, R-A-S-K-I-N.
Thank
It
you.
is really an interesting book.
What's it about, Chobe?
It's about the whole earth. It's well, anyway, it's about the whole earth becoming one state. And
Interesting.
it's by a man who has formed an institute, Paul Raskin, and he's been thinking about this for years. It's
Wow.
such an interesting book. You've got it. And when we hang up, I'm going to actually call the Booksmith and order 3 more, because I can think of people who would really, really like this book. Whether I don't know whether they'd agree with it or not. It's a way out proposition, but it's kind of
Cool.
beautiful. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's Chobe, always on the cutting edge.
well, if
Because of you. Because of you.
No.
You're always, I walk through that door, there she is, and she tells me the books I should read. And the interesting thing is, it's always the books I should read.
Well, if you really like good nonfiction, there's a book called Sapiens,
Fantastic.
Oh, yes.
which is
Great book.
very
Great book.
enlightening in many respects.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
That's-
good one.
that's a good book for the science lover that I was just talking to. That's a fantastic book. That's a
Yeah.
really, that is it's like a masterwork. I think he's actually really changing a whole generation of thinkers.
Yes, I found it enlightening.
Yeah.
And I
It's
started
got wonderful reviews. Wonderful reviews.
Can you say the name again, please, somebody?
And I put
Sapiens.
it in the chat. It's Sapiens, like Homo sapiens.
Oh, Sapiens, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, are you going to get Kendi's first book, the one he co-wrote? I can't even think of the name.
Well, he's got 3, so Stamped from the Beginning, and the one he did with Jason Reynolds, which is just called Stamped.
Yeah.
They're all here now. They're all
You
here.
have them all?
Yeah,
Oh, well, I'll be ordering.
great, great.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know my daughter ordered a few books, but she has a last name. You probably wouldn't know that she's our daughter, Elias, and my daughter. Do you carry 500-piece puzzles? Because I know she's ordered puzzles for my son.
Yes.
You carry them?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's another thing that you can reach out to me. You guys all have my email, and ask me for more specific information, like how many 500-piece puzzles do you have? What's the style? I can help you with that. And that's another thing that we can do for curbside pickup if you like. I know we have some, and we certainly have 1,000-piece puzzles, but I could tell you what we have in stock right now.
Okay.
They're sold out, many of them across the country, so we're waiting for more. But we definitely have some, and I could help you figure out the variety.
Ordered a few from you because she was ordering them before and she didn't know you had them. So my husband told her to order from you. So
Great.
she ordered a few from you.
Wonderful, thank you.
I wanted to suggest to you, Lisa, when I go to bookstore websites, I have a devil of a time when I want to search by author or by title for a book. And I generally, when I go into your store, have one book that I want to buy, and then I spend like 2 hours looking at other books and usually walk out with 2. But it would be so helpful if we could do searches, good searches on those websites, and find things we're really looking for, because you spend 20 minutes diddling around and you still can't find things.
Yeah, no, I think, thank you for that. That's a good note. And I do think that our designers are really working with that in mind. So like I said, when we launch, I will let you know, and then I would love to hear your feedback, because we'll have a time over the weeks post-launch to refine further. And we want it to be incredibly intuitive and easy. So that's the goal.
And the other thing that I wanted to ask you is, I'm often searching for books that are out of print or short supply. And if
Go
I
to the
order one
basement.
of those through your website, would it, sometimes you can get them?
Yeah, that is not something that we can actually do very well right now. But again, once you're on the website, we'll have a place where you can communicate that this is what you're looking for. And then we're trying to figure that out to have a better way of doing that. Right now, we've been recommending that people go to Bookshop, which is another organization that helped us through the crisis, because they are fulfilling out-of-print book searches, and they do a pretty good job of it.
Also, if you go down to your basement, I've found some pretty amazing books in the lowest level of the Booksmith.
Yeah, definitely.
I've been down there more than once.
Yeah,
there's some surprising books down there.
yeah. So that's just right now, that particular request is just something you have to take the extra step of letting me know about. And we're working on that, but we would love to be able to offer that and take a stab at it anyway, but that is something we need to refine for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And you have a book club too.
Yes, we have many book clubs. Actually, we launched a whole bunch of book clubs for kids during the last few months, because the kids were going completely crazy at home with their parents. And then we have our regular book club, which is still thriving, and the small press book club. So yeah, those are great. Those are all virtual now. So
Great.
Well,
Lovely thing to do.
Lisa, is the basement inventory on the website as well?
No, it's not. It's not. So that's definitely, as your colleague was mentioning, that being able to find out-of-print books and supply used books online is something we have to strive for. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it right now because we're basically underwater, as I was explaining. But it's a goal, and it's a worthy goal. I just don't know when we'll really get to it.
Gotcha.
So Lisa, I just put up the contact information for the store. So as I understand it, there's 3 addresses that are posted on the website: the store at brooklinebooksmith.com and Lisa and Peter. And there's also an events one. Is there
Yeah.
one with a query like the one that Steve just said about rare books? Should it go to the store or to you or Peter?
I actually handle all the store emails, so you can do it there, or you can do it directly to me. And I'm happy to get those emails, and I will find out, I'll work with our used book team to figure it out. And Russ, as you know, Toby, Russ does a lot of.
Oh, I
Russ,
love Russ.
he's able to track down a lot of used books too, and he has these very unusual channels. That whether through Brattle Bookstore, he does other kind of book swaps. So it's just another avenue that I have access to. So as long as we have the request, we can do our best.
And Russ is another member of your team that when you call into the store, if you're lucky enough that he answers, I never go away empty-handed. Not only is he a good salesperson, I wish he were in real estate. Not only is he a good salesperson, but he knows his books.
Oh my God, yeah, he's a living legend. He's really
He
a
really
scholar.
is. Yes,
He's
he
actually
really
a
is.
scholar. I feel almost guilty having him here as a bookseller because he really should be a distinguished professor.
I believe that.
Yeah, but yeah, no, he's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And he doesn't do a hard sell.
Nope.
He just sort of, it's okay. You don't have to be afraid of him. But wow, he's good.
Yeah.
well, Lisa, I'd like to thank you for sharing with us and for letting us know that your store is available and that we can do a drive-by and all the other things that you told us.